What's up, guys? It's Mr. Fit to Flourish, and today I wanted to talk about how you can win every single trade. No cap, every single trade. Now, I know you probably know a ton of different strategies: SMC, ICT, opening range, 9MA crossovers, 20MA crossovers, VWAP crossovers. I know you know all that stuff. Okay, you know all that stuff, and it's still not working because any of these given strategies can only work 50 to even sometimes maximum 70% of the time. So what's happening the other 50 to 30% of the time that you're going to take a loss? Well, the loss is not going to be as big if you understand how to grade trades and your emotions and certain rules that you should have. So I've gone over this a couple times, but I wanted to share this one more time. And these are pretty much my rules to guaranteed wins. So when you stick to a system, you stick to a set of rules, it's harder for you to lose, especially if you're focusing on a strategy. You need to refine that strategy, right? So after years of trading, here are some things that may transform your trading. Not even may. I know a lot of people in my group who have been kind of mentoring on these trading strategies. These things absolutely change the game. Okay. Number one is the easiest freaking thing you could do is to not trade before 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're trading from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., I bet you have an extremely large amount of losses compared to your peers. I guarantee you do. Stop trading before 10 a.m. The reason is 10 a.m. is a Eastern Standard Time reversal time. Before 10 a.m. is when big money is typically moving around and you get false directions. You don't really get a market. You don't really get market structure, so you're not ever going to really know exactly the right market direction until after 10 a.m. Okay, so you need to stop it. Just stop trading before 10 a.m. I guarantee you will increase your wins by at least 20 to 30% off the rip. All right, and then number two, don't listen to or follow other traders' opinions. That's the biggest thing. Don't follow opinions. Don't follow analyst opinions. Don't follow YouTubers, TikTokers. Don't even follow your mother. Okay, if your mom says, "Oh, you need to do this," don't listen. Okay, if Jim Cramer says you need to do this, definitely don't listen. Okay, definitely don't listen. But do your own research. Do your own research, and then when you go to these other traders, I want you to try to match up what they're saying versus what you're saying, just to have an idea of, okay, maybe this is correct, and then kind of look at their track record for how often they're right and how often they're wrong, based on their strategies. And then you might want to adopt some of their strategies. But you need to understand that the markets can only go two ways, and that's up or down. Okay, up or down. And it's your job, doing your own TA and research, to gather evidence to determine the likely direction. That's all you're doing. You're gathering evidence. So gather why it can go up, gather evidence on why it can go down, and then you'll pick a direction based on where there is more evidence or confluence. I don't care how you do it. You could do it with the fair value gaps. You could do it with ICT, SMC. You could do it with the ruler. You could do it with fundamentals. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And the person out there saying, "Oh no, only this strategy works," cap, major cap, because there's people successful using every single strategy, and that's why every single strategy exists. Okay? And it's just about refining the strategy and sticking to the system. The problem is not the system or the strategy. You're the problem because you don't follow these rules, okay? And you don't even have a set of rules, okay? So another thing that I like to do is stick to only two setups, and they need to be B plus to A plus, okay? Preferably only A plus. The strategies I use, a lot of people know that I use the 9MA crossing above or below the 20MA for longs or shorts. I typically like to short, so I'll wait for a very good setup with the 9MA. That's the moving average crossing below the 20 moving average. Double top neckline breaks are extremely profitable as well. And then I like slingshot dojis, which are just hammer dojis at the bottom of a downtrend with a major tail, so a major wick, and the major wick has to be bouncing off of a key level. Okay, so these are pretty much the strategies I like. And then if the two setups are not seen, why are you trading? You don't put on the trade. You just don't put on the trade. And some people just can't sit on their hands, and that causes them to put on stupid trades where you continue to lose. And then you'll get one trade where, oh, you win kind of big, and then you're lost the next day when you try to do the same thing, trading without your system or your strategy. You take a fat L. Okay, you take a fat L and you're like, why didn't it work this time? Well, you're not using a strategy. You're just kind of gambling at the end of the day. Okay. And then you want to trade stocks with a volume of at least 1 million and options with a volume of at least 500, preferably 1 to 2,000. 500 will work though, just like SMCI has volumes typically around 500, and it still trades really, really well. So the reason why you want to trade with volume is because you have someone on the other side of the trade and you won't have a huge bid ask spread. Okay. And then the stock, if you're trading stocks, it won't be easily manipulated. But with options, you want someone on the other side of the trade so you don't have a huge bid ask spread. And then I tell everyone this: you need to treat every trade like a marriage. If it doesn't fit your criteria, then don't get on one knee and don't marry that trade. People are very, very particular and very specific with, oh, I want this girl who has this and this and that, and she cooks and she does this. And then girls are like, oh, well, I want this guy who's 6 feet tall, makes 6 figures, this, and this. And then when it comes to trading, they're like, oh, I'll just take this trade. Oh, I'll just take this trade. What? I don't get it. Okay. Actually, I do get it because I was there, and I still struggle sometimes to not just take any stupid trade. Okay. It needs to fit your criteria. Okay. And if it doesn't feel right, this is the biggest thing. If it doesn't feel right, you don't put on the trade. It's that simple. And you want to look for 3 to 4 pieces of evidence, okay, 4 pieces of confluence showing you that the trade is going to go in your direction. Okay, and if the trade doesn't feel right, if it doesn't meet your criteria, you do not marry the trade. You don't get on that one knee. You don't propose to that trade. So you just don't put on the trade. Okay. And if you do put on the trade, you need to be willing to accept the loss that may come with it. You need to understand the risk. Okay. People don't talk about it a lot. You need to understand the risk. You put in $500. If it goes the other way, it can potentially go down 50%. So you will lose $250. Are you okay with that loss? The potential upside, however, needs to be 2 times. So if you could potentially lose $250, then you should look on the other side and say, okay, well, my upside is 500. Okay. So your reward needs to be 2 times your risk. And then you need to take profit as the market makes it available. If you have a 50% gain or more, please do not ask me. Don't ask, oh, should I get out the trade? If it's making a significant change to your account size, if the trade is making a significant change to your account size, you need to understand that you will see more trades like this, especially with your system. So get out of the trade, take the profit. People typically ask me this, like, oh, I'm up 150%. I'm up 200%. Should I get out or should I keep it running? What? Either take a lot off the table and leave your runners in, because I know you're just trying to flex for YouTube or TikTok or whatever and say, oh, I got 1,000%. Well, show me your other days. Okay. I don't care about that one day that you randomly caught a 500% trade. I don't care. Okay. You need to take money as the market makes it available to you. 20% is good. Okay. Anything more is absolutely amazing. This is not about the short game, about that one GameStop play. This is about longevity. There's a lot of people who made a ton of money in GameStop and then just lost it all because they have hopium and they just keep hoping every trade keeps going. Okay. Just because of that one time that it happened on a Black Swan event. Okay. Take profit. And then what I like to do is after a losing trade, I will either reduce my size or not trade, but reduce my size by 2/3 for 24 hours. After a big trade, a big win, I will reduce my size by 2/3 for the next trade if it's the same day. Why will I do that? Typically what I find is I get this huge ego after a fat trade, and then I'm just like, okay, and then I end up just taking any random setup. I'm talking about super random because I'm like, oh yeah, I just focus on that one. I focused hard on that trade to get that trade. It goes up big. I'm up 5-6K and I'm, oh yeah, this next play. And then I just take some random entry and don't really pay attention and end up eating some of those gains. So after a losing trade, I reduce. After a huge win, I lose, or I reduce. Okay, to reduce my risk for losses. Okay, you have to understand your risks when you're trading. And then what I like to do is every night I make no excuses. I'm reviewing the 5-minute charts. I'm reviewing the charts. I'm scanning watch lists for higher time frame setups every night. And then I'm not getting emotional about trades anymore. I used to get so emotional. I don't care. I win, I lose. It's the same. My day is going to be the same. I'm very grateful, very thankful to even have money to put on trades, to be here. So trading shouldn't change the way that you are, the person who you are. Okay. And then I like to just place one trade on at a time. It helps me to focus. Also, sticking to your stop. You need to stick to your stop. So good plays, the rule is that good plays just go. Good plays just go. And then in terms of earnings, you never want to gamble on earnings plays. The only times that you'll actually play earnings and hold contracts overnight is when you have insider information, or you have a very clear idea of where the company is going to be guiding and how they did for that quarter. Okay, and that's very rare. It's pretty rare that you'll know exactly how they're going to guide and exactly where they're going to go, if they had a revenue beat, EPS beat. Very rare that you know all the factors. Okay. Earlier this year with Tesla, we knew that it was not going to do good and that they were going to be guiding down and all that good stuff. So we took those Tesla puts and went absolutely nuts. But otherwise, there haven't been too many earnings where it's been like a clear cut. This is what's going to happen, especially now that investors pay attention to the guidance a lot, even if there's a huge beat. Okay. And then trading is not about being right. Okay. It's not about being right. People don't understand that. It's about making money. Okay. So a lot of the time I'll make videos on TikTok about like, oh, hey, the market can potentially go here, but here are the different levels you need to pay attention to. And then if I say like, oh, the market looks like it wants to go up, then everyone's thinking like, oh, let me get calls. And then when the market goes down and I was prepared for either direction and I traded in the right way, so I got puts, people will come into under my comments like, oh, like the one time I'm right a lot of the time on my analyses. People will come into the comments like, oh, you said it was going to go up. I said, no, I didn't. I did not say it's going up. I said it could potentially go up based on certain factors. However, if it breaks these levels, you need to get puts. So you need to be prepared for either direction. Trading is not about being right. Okay. It's about making money, and it's about adjusting to what the market is presenting to you. Okay. And then what I like to do is I only like to trade options. So right now I'm just focused on options. I go long puts or calls. I don't do any combo strategies anymore. I don't trade any stocks anymore. I'm very focused and very intentional with this system. And then a few of my affirmations for personal success with trading and just success in general is these. And I really like these. So I say, I find the best trades for the best pay. Therefore, I get made extremely wealthy in the easiest ways. I am always under direct inspiration of the infinite intelligence. Miracles happen everywhere I go. All great things fall towards me like gravity. And these come from Neville Goddard as well as Florence Scovel Shinn. If you guys don't know who that is, I would definitely look into their teachings and their books. Very good stuff. But that's all I had for you guys today in terms of the path to success when it comes to trading. I promise you, if you stick to these rules, trading transformed immediately. But as long as you don't, you're going to continue to take pretty big losses. And again, a way to reduce your losses, especially in times like today, it's August 23rd, 2024. Especially in times like today, the best way to reduce your losses and have outsized gains is to make sure that if you're uncertain about the trade and you still want to put on the trade, either paper trade or reduce your size by 60 to 70%. It sounds like a lot, but just do it. And then once you get consistent and confident in your trading, then you'll be able to increase size, and that's going to take a little bit of time. But if the trade is a very beautiful setup, it's an A+ setup, and you see this trade win all the time, go ahead and put on some size. But again, if it's not meeting your criteria, don't put on the trade. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. A little bit long video, but great rules to stick to and to abide by in order to become extremely successful trading. Okay. And you don't need to trade every day. Remember that you don't need to trade every day to make money. You only need 8 doubles from $1,000. Okay. 8 doubles from $1,000 in order to make $1 million. I'm going to say that one more time for the person in the back who did not hear me too well. You only need 8 doubles from $1,000 to make $1 million. Okay, so you need 8 quality trades. If you have $1,000, you don't trade unless you see this A plus setup. Boom, you put on the trade. Most quality trades will go 200, 250%. And it happens almost every other day, honestly. And really every day, but you have to scan your watch list. But 8 doubles, well, 10 doubles will get you to $1 million. Okay, so if you stick to quality trades, you can do great things. Okay, you can do great things. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. It's Mr. Fit to Flourish, and I am outie. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and